Okay, as we got in here today, first time the guys have been in here on a Monday for a while, since the bye week, and then obviously the week after the bye week, and then the Victory Monday. So we had a chance to get back to work. And the guys have been in here, have been very good, been very determined, I would say, very focused, and, owning up to the point where we can play better in some areas and played pretty good in others. And the things we got to do is correct the wrongs and continue the rights and even improve more of the rights and put ourselves in a better position to win, close games. The game could have been closer, and the reason the game wasn't as close is that on the road, you can't be -4. You can't do that. And on the road, -4 and allowing a defensive score even diminishes your chances. And whether it's -1 or -2 on the road, and you allow a score, on the offensive side of the ball when you're out there. And then defensively, we got to take it away. We had the ball on the ground a couple times, and we've been doing good on taking it away. We got to score on defense too. When they score, we score. That's how you play the complementary game, affect the field position. Thought defensively, one of the things was we got to do better on third down, and forcing them. Anytime you force a team to 16, 17, 18, we've had those weeks this year where you're 16 plus third and fourth downs. That's really good on first and second down, but then got to get off. And there's more us than them. We got to execute our way. It's more us than them on a couple of those situations, especially when it gets down into the short yardage situations. But give them credit. I will tell you our guys credit. Then we still made them kick field goals, but we could have been off the field on third down before they're in field goal range and force a few more punts that way, give our offense an opportunity there to do better. Second half, just like we said, when you took a look at the film and everything, they came out grinding. I thought Baker did a very good job all day long in the leadership aspect of how, we're going to do things on offense. And then I thought the leadership aspect on defense too, and in the special teams, the guys never flinched. We just need to do a better job in the point-producing areas of what the takeaways mean and how they do that on diminishing the return on winning games on the road. Questions?
Do you have an update on Denzel or Larry?
Still in protocol, as far as with Denzel. I'm anxious to hear. I'll probably hear more about that later in the day. Don't know yet. And then they're still doing some of the tests with Larry right now. They're still doing that. So I don't have anything definitive.
Chance Larry tore the bicep?
I don't know for sure on that. They're doing all those testings. He's a tough dude. He's had some of those same kind of injuries before, and I've had players with some of those same similar injuries. So we'll see the significance of it, the seriousness of it. But he's a real tough guy, and so if he can play through it, he's one of the few guys we have that can do something like that. And he did. He played. He kept on playing and kept on playing, kept on playing in the game. That's to his credit.
It looked like he walked off, and they were checking his arm first, at least.
First off, we thought it was a stinger. And then you went through, the question and answer stuff, and it was ding dong, whatever it is. I don't want to say that's wrong, but and went into that kind of a protocol. But then, I've teased him already today, and, and the tough part of our game is, make a better read and you didn't tackle low enough again? It's one of those things is that, at that corner position, especially him, you got to be down. And then it was one of those things right there at the heat of the battle, at the point of attack, where he was up and a guy kind of dinged him on the side of the head. So we'll see. And again, it's still in protocol.
You, in the 3 previous games, you guys started quickly. Mm-hmm. So what do you think happened other than?
I think our energy and our starting fast and all that kind of stuff was the same, but what was different was production. What was different is execution, and it sounds simple, but harder in application. It's the same energy is there, the same, fire is there, the same focus is there, but then you have to produce, you have to execute, and you have one or two things. It may just be a real minor thing that goes wrong with, a throw, a snap, a run. The value of protecting the ball, you can't overvalue that, okay? We have to protect the ball, and then defensively, we have to get it away. Special teams, we have to get it away. And when we had some on the ground right there, we need to come up with them. And the other thing was, too, give Deshaun some credit, you know, and we were violent in the pocket. I'm talking about how hard we were in the pocket and everything, and he's lost a lot of fumbles in the pocket this year. We didn't get any of them, and his ball security was not really good in the pocket, and that was a point of emphasis. But he was able to earn it and keep the ball away from us a few times. As we lost sacks maybe, where we were going for the ball maybe a little bit too much at times, and we've got to keep on going with those things.
Aspect of Mayfield, and everybody knows you're not asking him to be a running quarterback, but he has been running very little, including not at all yesterday. Is he still feeling some?
It's still a feel. It's still a feel to the game, and it's not something that where we say don't do it. It's the feel of the game, and it's the extension of a play. And you can see, we can see, and I've been able to see for my whole career on quarterbacks, one read run, one read run. That's not, the really good ones are one read by time, run if I have to, can I make a play? And, you know, he's looking to make that play even when he's extending the pocket. You know, another real positive thing is, I mean, that's a dominant pass rush they have. When you look at those guys and you're on the field with them, and both Baker and our tight ends, our backs, our linemen did a really good job of negating what was a big topic last week, okay, in their pass rush, negating some effectiveness of some of those dominant players they have there. Our deal was, again, make no bones about it, we have to protect the football. We have to, a big part of the game was our ability to capitalize in the red zone. We needed to get there more. Our offense has been outstanding in the last month now. When you get them down in there, they're putting touchdowns on the board. And then what we were able to do on negating touchdowns, even when they get there. But those field goals that they did get were because of a couple of critical third downs that we allowed that field position to happen. Now they end up getting a field goal or two. And we just got to get better in those areas.
The offensive line tends to get the blame when the quarterback's being sacked a lot. Baker's not been sacked in 3 straight games.
They better be getting some credit, you know, and if I'm Baker, I'm around patting those guys on the back and I'm talking to them. I'm being best friends with them if I'm Baker. And that's always a great part. You make me a smile come to my face on that is that all quarterbacks, you know, all quarterback knows their best friends in the world, okay, is in combat of those linemen and, you know, what they do for him. And he's got to be positive with that, and he should be praising that. They're doing a good job. And look at that from a leadership standpoint, too. I have been on other places, too, where offensive linemen and the quarterback didn't get along. And obviously he got hit a lot more in those situations because of the pride of that unit.
Hey, Greg, Antonio Callaway was, I think, the target on those first 2 interceptions. Baker after the game mentioned he could have fought maybe on the second one, and the timing wasn't quite right, or the depth wasn't quite right on the first one. What did you see there, and how much responsibility?
You know, it's really a fine line in the depth part of it, and it's also a fine line in their aspect of a drop. When I say a drop, a pass drop, a drop in coverage. The hardest thing from playing the quarterback position, and you don't want to put words into Baker's mouth or anybody, but, you know, of playing that position a long time ago, is that you don't see the guys underneath, you see the guys on top. And all of a sudden, when a guy underneath is deeper than usual, that becomes a surprise. Why is that? Well, could be a route concept, could be the depth of the route, could be the play action fake. Lots of different things that go into it. But it's just a fraction. And you can't let those things diminish you. You just got to get better at understanding and feeling that. And give Baker credit now. I mean, they're playing the same stuff the second half. They're playing the same stuff in other series, and he's got a feel for them, and he's made that correction already. He did a really good job with that.
You don't put those on Callaway?
No, you know, well, here's the deal. We put it on everybody, okay? Put it on me. If you're looking for somebody to put it on me.
Was that a newer wrinkle for Baker to see? Did Romeo drop those linebackers deeper than other teams?
No, it really wasn't that much of a newer wrinkle. It was just, you know, that happened to be a good play. And it wasn't always. It didn't always happen. It just happened to be the timing of that play. So, no.
Mayfield's mobility, going back to mid-October, I think it was the Chargers, where he got up, gimped up. Did that affect him for a while? And how is his mobility?
I don't think it affected him, and I think his mobility is excellent. And those are things you can't teach. You really can't. You either have that before you ever get to this level, and 9 times out of 10 you have it before anybody ever coaches you. And there's just a feel for playing the position and extending the play, a mobility in the pocket when you can and can't do it. And, I want you to think back earlier in the year when the feeling of he could do it when it all collapsed on him. And all of a sudden he was taking sacks in some of those situations. You don't see that anymore. And that's that feel of when I actually can buy time. And when there's certain times when you're surrounded, and there's certain times the feel of the quarterback, they can't tell you. I can't tell you why. And again, I may look in here, but I can feel here. Okay, I may look in here, but I can feel here. And that's the instincts of playing the position in the pocket. He has very good instincts that way. He really does.
In terms of being gimped up, though, what was he a little bit for a while after that?
I don't know. That was a long time ago. He wasn't gimped up yesterday. He was good.
The fact that he bounced back so well in the second half of that game, you're not worried, I'm sure, then about him overcoming a 3-interception game heading into this week?
Zero. None. That's not who he is.
Is Terrence Mitchell going to be back this week?
Yeah. And he's had 2 good weeks of practice, and then, we had on kind of a formula both from physically and the mental part of it, but making sure everything's right, and he'll take the next jump up this week. So we'll see. But he's been involved. He's been traveling with us and doing everything. Yeah.
Obviously, the way the game went, it didn't lend itself to running the ball a lot, especially not very many plays in the first half, and then you were behind. But was there any more you could have done to get Nick more involved?
We talked about that, obviously, but the big thing is closing the gap and using the time as fast as possible. If there was a potential chunk run or two, and then a glorified run, in this league, a glorified run's a screen, so, but we've talked about that, and we'll see as we continue to do that because he has those skill sets, yes.
Obviously, you'd like to win as many as you can, but after a loss, do you get their attention back? Not that you necessarily lost it last week, but do you see a renewed focus typically?
If the question is, all of a sudden when you win a little bit, all of a sudden, do they think they know more than everybody else? No. Yeah, I know that. I know, and I've been down that road a bunch. But no, if that was part of it, which is a good question, I would have addressed that immediately during the time that potential was happening. And the big part of every single day being an interview, them, me, all of us together. So I've not seen that, will not see that. And, the energy on poor little old me, there's not any poor little old me's in that room. And the energy in the locker room, I don't want to use the wrong word, it begins with P on pissed offness, is that, you're irritated in the locker room, when it's not a win. But what are you going to do about it? And how are you going to get on the plane? How are you going to hit the ground up here? How are you going to be, we've been road dogs. How are you going to be a home dog? Okay, and we start that from day one coming in here to the meeting today. But how they hit the ground running with immediately this morning in the rehab workouts, strength training workouts, nobody being late, everybody being anxious to get back in here. That's the mark of the right kind of people. And so we'll keep on pushing the right kind of people.
Hey, Greg, we've asked you about your future. Do you hope that to be the head coach here beyond this next month? My question is, did you think about that? Do you think I have to go 4-0?
I don't think about that. And I honestly say this, and I'm being able to look straight in the eye and tell you this. I love what I do. I love getting up in the morning. I love every single day winning. Every single day. And that is coming in here and doing whatever I can, whatever we can to help these guys do things the right way. And those are the only things that I think about is winning today. Don't go to sleep at night without having the list getting ready for tomorrow. My dad told me that a long time ago. He says, why would you put your head on the pillow if there's one more thing you can do tonight? So make sure you have your list ready to go when you hit the ground running tomorrow morning. And I've always done that. And we hit the ground running this morning, and we were in the office last night getting ready for today. So players were here last night too, coming off the plane. Some of them were in here last night. Boom, they did not want to go home until they had a chance to do certain things with their body and with their mind. So everything's good.
Was Baker one of those that came into the building last night?
I'm not going to say everybody, but there is good ones.
Was there any Organizational discussion about claiming Kareem Hunt.
I was hoping that I could get the inactives right. Okay.
You still have it in his mind that the playoffs are still possible?
Say it again.
You want your team to act as if...
Here's what I would say. It's not act. Okay, and I want our guys to come in winning every day, winning every single second of every day, and let the chips fall where they may. Okay, but do our jobs on winning every day.